he does not even want to give it a flinch. He doesn't want to even entertain this.
It's correct. It's correct.
Yeah.
I think today what we as a nation should be discussing is the judgment in the court by the magistrate court in relation to what happened in the EFF event and all of that. That should be of interest to a lot of us in terms of how our judiciary and our system operates, because it operates in a manner that you feel that it targets certain individual. You know very well, Mashiane, that I'm not a big fan of Julius, and I've openly said this to you many times.
Everyone knows.
The of it is that if an injustice is done to him, we should not stand and say, because it's Julius that I don't like, then an injustices should be done to him, right? Because in terms of the act and how things are done in South Africa, if you charge me for discharging a firearm, right, you should have proven with ballistics that the firearm actually shot, right? So you don't just imagine that there was a firearm that was shot. You understand? So this particular case raises serious element in terms of our judicial system. As a lawyer myself, I can tell you that judgment was wrong. I can tell you that judgment was wrong. It's wrong in many ways. So I think Julius must take up that particular judgment into appeal and point out these realities. You can't say someone shot a gun, you don't have a ballistic test. It doesn't help at all. So it's circumstantial evidence. And in South Africa, our law is very clear. You must prove beyond reasonable doubt. It's only on civil matters when you can use balance of probabilities. And I think in this matter, the magistrate used balance of probabilities on a criminal matter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ntsako. It's been a very big news cycle for the past 24 hours.
Yes.
In letting you go, please just give us what you think of the passing of Comrade Nathi Mthethwa, because I mean you would have been involved with him being in the art cycle, but I think of prominence is his stint in the police ministry. Yes. So anything we should remember him of, and the critical question is, will he die a hero?
For me, he would have died a hero had Mkhwanazi not gone to the commission and actually mention his name and mention the fact that he tried to interfere with the police and giving directives to say don't prosecute so and so. For that, hence he did not get an opportunity to respond to that. But the realities of it's suspicious that a prominent individual like him, let's be honest, ambassadors are given drivers and bodyguards. Right? If you're an ambassador to a country, your country takes care of you in making sure that you've got a driver and you've got a bodyguard, you're taken care of. The status of an ambassador is that of a representative of a country in another country. Right? So it's puzzling that he would commit suicide in a brothel, because the French media reports that flat in Paris is actually a brothel, and the person died at 22nd floor. My suspicion, like many people that are saying, is that this man might have been, assassinated. People have looked at his trends, his movement, and they saw that there was a regular at the brothel, and then use the brothel as a place where they can actually target him and throw him away, and actually even take his phone and say, text your wife and say that you are committing suicide, or whatever that he texts his wife. So for me now, I believe in the suspicion that something foul has happened here. I do not think at the level where Mthethwa was, he could have haphazardly committed suicide, and a suicide where he can actually go to a 22nd floor and kill himself, when he actually has access to doctors that can actually give him a morphine and kill him instantly, and do a proper medical a suicide that will not be subjected to the kind of pain that you would have went through jumping from 22nd floor. I also hear people speaking about the fact that he might not be dead, it could be another Gavin Watson scenario. I believe that this man was assassinated based on the scenario at hand. We'll hear what the prosecutors or the police in Paris or in France are saying in relation to this matter. But in terms of what he has done, I think Mthethwa did a lot, when the country was facing a lot of, turbulent situation, especially with COVID-19, dealing with the sport, especially cricket. At some point, he even told the cricket South Africa that you can be cricket South Africa, but don't wear South African flag. You understand? It was very particular in terms of dealing with transformation in cricket. So there is a part in which he has actually played a role, especially in arts and sport, to make sure that he tried to get involved and make sure that there is some work that is done. There was a story of flag of 22 million. People really didn't understand why that flag cost that. If you followed the narrative around it, you'll understand that at some point as a nation, we need symbolic things that we need to build. Why people build structures, museums and a lot of, things that when you go to Pretoria, at Church Square, there are things that were built. But if this current government was building that, people would question, why is the government building that? But the reality of, there are things that need to be built. We need to build a statue of our people, our heroes, and that shows the symbol of who we are. Every country does that. That's why when you go to a country like Mozambique, you can see the statue of Eduardo Mondlane in Maputo. You will see streets named after the heroes there. You go to Ghana, you see the same. In many of these African countries, you will see that. Even if you go to Europe, there are people that they statues of the Queen in England and all of that. It's critical that you preserve the names of your heroes. And in the curricula at school and other places, you are able to then teach your children about this particular thing. So it's very important. So the role that he played at that level, I will not talk much from the police or the police side of things, but in terms of what he has done in sports, arts and culture, I think he has done pretty well. There is people that were unhappy because he played some role when Thabo Mbeki was removed because he was in a faction of President Zuma. Those are just politics, but the reality of it, let's look at the contribution that the president has made politically, and when they had certain roles that they were playing towards service delivery or delivering to the people. So that is very critical and important in terms of the whole scenario.
Tatana Shibambo, you can send go.
You can send Mashiam, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was Shibambo for you, Tada.